This is a very exciting day because the Altador Cup is officially over and I don't have to play it anymore. My team got 4th, which is actually way better than I expected that we would do. So, yay for Marydell. Big time. So this was going to be a video in which I felt really awesome about myself because I've been writing and I actually was motivated to write today and things were going great. But we'll get to the reason that this all went wrong in a minute. So for starters, I've started to do, I mentioned in the last video that I was going to try to write every day and that I was going to bounce from multiple projects to sort of combat the writer's block and get in the habit of doing this every day. So part of what I did to combat that was I set reminders on my phone, so now it goes off every day twice. The first one is actually to tell me to get moving so that I can exercise and try to not be so fat all the time. And then the other one is a writing alarm that tells me to write. The get moving fat ass alarm is obnoxious and loud, and it's meant to be alarming, like, hey, you need to move. And the other one is sort of chipper and happy, like, yay, it's writing time. So I've been doing that. So I started by attempting to write just this random idea that came to my head, and I think I wrote like 1,000 words of it yesterday, and then today I intended to continue it when I had time. I didn't have to work till like noon today, and no one was awake yet, so I had my coffee, I sat down to write it. I had it on a Google Doc. I started writing it, and it bored me. Like, in my head, it sounded like a really great idea, and then like when I got to like finishing it, it didn't go anywhere. So I'm probably gonna abandon that idea, but it did put me in the mood for writing because what happened was I'm looking at this plot and the characters, and I'm like, you guys are so inadequate. And then I just started missing my other characters, and I'm like, well, maybe it's time to go look at that project again. And because I had sort of, primed the writing skills, I was ready to do it. So I opened up book 2 of the Achilles series, and I looked at it again, sort of got a sense of where it was going. I actually sat down with that 7-point story structure that I've been talking about so much, and I 7-pointed it out. I took 3 major plot threads that are happening in book 2, and I did a 7-point for each one, so that I knew like where I was going to be in the 3 threads as we went through the novel. Which is good because they line up in a couple of key areas, so I knew that I would have the checkpoints I needed to make a good story structure. So now I had an idea in my head of exactly how this book was going to go, and I sat down to write it. I opened up my Scrivener document, and I started writing. Well, I actually started reading first, like, hey, this is what had happened so far. The moment I started to try to edit something, Scrivener crashed. Like, it crashed. It was just toast. It was like, hey, there was a problem saving your file. Actually, I have the picture here so I know exactly what it said, so I don't get this wrong. There was a problem saving the project. Not all recent edits could be saved. The project will now close. So I'd hit the OK button. It looks like this. So I hit the OK button. The project closed. And I thought something was just wrong with my computer, because the next thing that happened was nothing on my computer worked. Skype didn't work. I couldn't navigate the internet. And so I had to shut everything down. And I shut it all the way down, and I turned it back on. I opened up everything. The internet worked. Skype worked. I opened up Scrivener. Started trying to write something. Crashed. All over again. It's something about the autosave was just not working. And so I was like, oh god, this is not good. So I shut it down again, turned it back on again, thinking now at some point, because it's affecting my internet, I thought there was something wrong with my computer. So I googled this thing, and it was like top 5 problems that Macs have and what to do about them. And I read through it. None of them were the problem that I was having. Tried to open Scrivener again. I opened Scrivener, and then I quick backed up all of my files, because I'm like, no, I'm not losing my writing. I hate it when that happens. And Frankie will tell you the same thing. You lose writing, and it just ruins your whole, week. So I backed up all my files. And then, while I was doing that, after I had finally backed up the last one, I got this random new error I hadn't seen before. And I'll show you that one. Looks like that. It's some sort of kernel error. Has to do with your Mac. It says you need to restart your computer. Hold down the power button for several seconds and press the restart button. And so then I started to freak out because I'm like, oh god, my computer's dying and this is the end of all things. So I went back to that page. That was what I have here, and troubleshot the problem based on what that error was. And it was like, check your boot things, make sure that you don't have anything weird there. And then it was like reboot your computer, make sure everything's fine, check your software updates. I did have one software update, so I updated it. Logged in, everything was going fine. Opened Scrivener, tried to edit something, Scrivener crashed. I'm like, ugh. Not a problem with the computer, or at least not as far as I know. So at that point, I have to assume it's Scrivener. I don't know where my external hard drive is right now, so I was concerned that I couldn't actually back up the Scrivener files themselves. Then I learned, you remember on Friday I did that right tip about Google Docs? I learned you can actually back up your whole Scrivener file on Google Docs. It does it as a zip file. And so if you zip it up onto the Google Drives, when you have Scrivener again, you can unzip it, and it's the entire complete package exactly how you had it formatted. So that was beautiful. So I backed up all my Scrivener files, deleted the Scrivener, went back to the Scrivener website to re-download it, and it failed to download. It was like, network failed, no can do, and I was like, god damn it, this is not good. So then at that point, I'm like, I have no idea how to fix this now. Someone recommended I do an entire, reboot, wipe my hard drive. I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to lose all my bookmarks again. I'm so sick of this. So, in desperation, I just attempted to download Scrivener again, and it worked this time. So, I downloaded Scrivener, and, unzipped all my Scrivener files. Then I get this new error. So, I double-clicked on one of my, I chose a weaker story, like one that I wasn't going to miss as much, just in case I'm panicked and broke down. And it says, I got this new window, it looks like that, and what it says is, update project? The project you are trying to load uses an older file format and cannot be opened. Would you like to update it? A copy of the old project will be saved in the same directory. You can either cancel or update project. I'm like, that's a little weird. So I hit OK on, one of the weaker files that I wasn't going to miss in case it corrupted the file. Opened it up. Everything works fine. So I did that to all the files. Let me show you something real quick, because this is new. I just noticed this today. Oh, slightly spoilery. I gave you the first two title chapters of my next book, but that's okay. So what it looks like, if you look here, it looks like my Scrivener wanted to update and didn't tell me it wanted to update. So rather than having a conversation like an adult with Scrivener, it was just like, you know what, I quit. It stopped working. Something about the autosave function, and it was just not going to work anymore. So I honestly just needed to delete it and start over again. And now everything works great. But that took the better part of 2 hours of my day that I planned to spend writing. So that was a real total bummer. The good news is, it's July 4th. I'm at work right now until 10:30, and currently I'm waiting for blood, which is why I had a chance to do this video. It's not going to be here for another hour and a half. So tomorrow I have the day off, and so that means tonight I get to stay up late if I want to. Tomorrow I have the whole day to myself. I have to mow the lawn because my grass is this long, but in between mowing the lawn, because it's going to take 3 shifts of mowing the lawn, I'm going to write, because I'm actually motivated to write now, because I'm writing every day. It's my new thing, and so things are going pretty good. Sorry I didn't have more for you, because I planned to, but sometimes your computer has to be a bitch, and you gotta troubleshoot that shit, so that's where I'm at today. I do recommend the writing every day thing, even if your writing sucks, because at least it gets your brain moving towards the writing thing. And the hopping around from multiple projects, I think it does kind of help, even if it's just to remind you that, hey, that little project you think is cool isn't cool, and you should get back to the one that matters, which is what happened to me. So on that note, I'm gonna go see if I can get some of this done and post this to the WordPress. Give us a like or a comment or something, or share the post, especially the ones that you like. Like especially, like I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure Frankie would too. Is if you take our world posts or our right tip posts and share them with people you think might enjoy them. The point of the Our World post is to sort of raise awareness on issues that we think are important. So sharing those might help save the world. And the right tips are meant to be helpful for other writers. And so if you have other writer friends, or you have like a Twitter account that's for writing, and like writing people follow you, share them around. It might do somebody some good. So yeah, the blog thing, I think that changing things around have gone pretty good. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm noticing some more engagement, a lot more likes, and yeah, Frankie and I are pretty happy with it, so I think that's going pretty good. Yesterday, I scheduled 5 blog posts, so I was on top of the game for once, and I actually had it all planned out ahead of time, so that's cool. I like the structured schedule. It's working out for me. If you notice too, Frankie redid the little dragon headers. Because before, we each had our, I don't know if anybody noticed, but we each had our own dragons. She had the red one and I had the green one. So anytime we were posting, you could tell which one of us it was. Except that we have so many people that sort of casually wander in, wander out, that I don't think they knew that. And because the blog posts to both of our pages, it would post my blog post on Frankie's page, and people on Frankie's page would think she was responsible for it. So when I was posting about the Altador Cup, one of her friends was like, "I didn't know you played Neopets," and she's like, "I don't, Salem does." So Frankie redid the dragon headers, so now it actually says by SK Balk and by FR Donaldson. So it's still the same dragon, but now it has our names on it. So when it posts, you know that it was her or it was me right off the bat, which I think is pretty helpful. In a lot of ways, I think we've made a lot of improvements that overall make us happier with the blog, and I think make things a lot clearer. So if you agree, or if you have any suggestions about content and stuff, like I said, go ahead and drop us a comment. We're always really happy to hear from you guys, and we really appreciate your support. So, happy 4th of July. Happy America's birthday. Or as someone put on Facebook, happy Treason Day, you ungrateful colonials. That was funny and made my day. So enjoy the rest of your week and your summer. See you guys later.